Tomero, followed by Nora Rosman.
Hello, good morning. My name is Hunter Tomero. I live in Arlington, and I'm here to express my disappointment with the county's lack of community engagement in the Amazon HQ2 process. When I'm out talking to members of the communities that are most impacted by the deal, there's been no outreach to them. Most of them have no idea that Amazon is coming here. They're completely unaware of it. When they learn what's actually planned for HQ2, they're surprised and they're concerned about their future in the county. We've provided the board with some statements of some of those concerns, and I'd like to read one of them right now. To the Arlington County Board, I would like diverse working families to be able to stay in Arlington. I used to live in Arlington, and as a teacher, I can no longer afford it. I now live in Alexandria. Don't forget to serve all the people. So at the little public outreach there has been, I've found that Amazon has been notably absent. Therefore, I urge you to not vote on any incentives for Amazon or any other corporation in Arlington until you've held a public hearing where Amazon representatives can answer directly to the concerns of the community. Thank you.
Thank you.
Nora Rosman, followed by Opal Boyer.
Good morning, Board. My name is Nora Rassman, and I'm a resident of DC. I'm here as a community member in collaboration with a large group of folks bringing deep concerns and alarm about the possibility of Amazon to HQ in Northern Virginia. We're deeply concerned about the impact such a decision will have both on this community and the surrounding region. Despite wide public critique and internal organizing by Amazon employees, Amazon continues to collaborate with and assist ICE in their surveillance, detention, and targeting of our immigrant families and friends. Inviting them into the region says that you agree with this behavior. When we look at the impacts of Amazon coming to the area, we know Amazon will only hasten gentrification and housing displacement, not only here in Northern Virginia, but in the larger region. According to the Washington Business Journal, Seattle housing prices, where Amazon's initial HQ is, have doubled within the last 6 years. We are here to ask for open hearings to be arranged for community members, paying particular attention to people who will be most impacted by both expansion and displacement, Black and Latinx communities, trans and queer people, and people already experiencing housing instability. Thank you.
Margarita Domain.
Hi, good morning. My name is Opal Boyer. I'm here today to talk about Amazon's collaboration with ICE. By not only
Ms. Boyer, we have standard rules for public comment where we ask for not more than one speaker on the same issue. So if you have some other dimension to this other than Amazon's collaboration with ICE, that would be appropriate at this time.
Okay, well, all right, so I would like to talk about not giving public money to corporations that collaborate with ICE. We should...
Ladies and gentlemen, please. Thank you.
We should not be giving away public dollars to any corporations that are collaborating and fueling a deportation machine. By doing so, we're implicated in harming not only the immigrant community here in Northern Virginia, but across the country. We should not be giving public money to a corporation whose web services collect, store, and organize a massive repository of information on immigrants, their friends, and family. Web services that scour regional, local, state, and federal databases to build profiles to surveil, track, and ultimately deport immigrants, or web services that undermine sanctuary city policy through unprecedented data sharing among all levels of law enforcement. So I will go ahead and share a report on a corporation that collaborates with ICE in this manner, that we should not be implicated in funding this corporation here in our communities and harming the immigrant community.
Thank you.
Margarita Domain.
Buenos días.
Buenos días.
Soy Margarita Damián. Represento a los inmigrantes, represento a la clase trabajadora. Somos la clase trabajadora, somos los que realmente ganamos salarios mínimos, somos los que trabajamos en sus casas, los que limpiamos sus casas, los que arreglamos su jardín. los que trabajamos en restaurantes, los que trabajamos haciendo construcción, ¿verdad? Es la comunidad a quienes ustedes no están viendo, a que nos están haciendo invisibles ante esta problemática que se está viniendo con Amazon, ¿verdad? Somos los que realmente estamos preocupados y nos sentimos amenazados por la venida de esta corporación, porque no vamos a poder pagar esas viviendas a tan alto costo. Entonces pedimos que nos tomen en cuenta, estamos pidiendo viviendas accesibles, pero para nosotros, esta clase trabajadora, inmigrantes, gente de color. Pedimos más audiencias para la comunidad, que escuchen más foros comunitarios, en donde sepan la preocupación de nosotros, ¿verdad? Y bueno, y no más incentivos para Amazon. Gracias.
Hi, my name is Margarita Damian. Please do not forget us. We are the working class. We are people of color. We are immigrants. We are the ones that do your garden. We are the one that clean your homes. We are the one that practically do the work harder. We are the workers earning the minimum wage. We feel threatened with the arrival of Amazon because in the past where they have caused more poverty. Please, we need more affordable housing. We need your help and your support. Please host more public hearings to actually include the community voice, and we ask you to please vote against the incentives towards Amazon.
Thank you. Mr. Tamaro and Ms. Rosman, Ms. Boyer and Ms. Damian, who all came with dimensions of concerns about Amazon in our community. We very much appreciate hearing all of these issues, whether it be what Amazon is as a business, what its impacts are going to be on our community, the incentives package that Arlington is going to be considering next month, and making sure that this board is looking out for people who have historically and are currently going to be affected by this in every way. We heard some specific comments about more outreach, and I would invite people, I know that you don't have enough time in 2 minutes to fully flesh out an idea, but if you have a specific idea about what you would like to see, we would welcome considering that to figure out if that can be implemented between now and whatever time you think it needs to be implemented. We do plan on March 16th to consider the performance agreement, which is the hotel tax incentive, which is being negotiated with Amazon. That should be for the board's consideration on March 16th. So we invite you to come back there for that, but please, in the interim, send us a proposal for what you think would be appropriate to meet the outreach and hearing needs that you have outlined today. So with that, comments from colleagues on any of those issues. Mr. Gutschall.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I did want to speak to the notion of public engagement, in particular as it relates to our consideration of the performance agreement with Amazon. And I wanted to let everyone know that from the first inkling of Amazon's possible coming to Arlington, I've been a consistent advocate for open communications surrounding all aspects of our bid, Amazon's acceptance, and now our consideration of the performance agreement we are scheduled to vote on next month. The County Board is operating in this spirit of transparency as we've held multiple listening sessions, online virtual learning sessions, and have scheduled dozens of discussions with civic groups and other groups. I believe that everything about Arlington's success that draws companies like Amazon here is rooted in our commitment to civic dialogue, not in spite of it. Sometimes these conversations aren't easy. We don't always agree. There are those who do not welcome Amazon and argue the board should not follow through on our bid to bring them here. I don't agree with that view, but I will support the right and appropriate opportunity for their voice to be heard. Importantly, I have also called on Amazon to increase their level of public engagement, as I believe our community is fundamentally stronger when we embrace difficult dialogue. Amazon officials have said they look forward to joining our community, not taking it over. Just this week, they have shared with me the numerous quiet meetings they have had getting to know our nonprofit, business, civic, and educational communities. I am further encouraged by Amazon's willingness to engage their new community in candid discussions surrounding a host of issues, some of which are germane to their performance agreement, and some of which are not. I believe that Amazon's choice of Arlington for their new headquarters is a big win for us and the region. Their coming not only allows us to focus more intently on the challenges we face in transportation, schools, and housing, among other needs, but eventually the tax revenue generated by Amazon will also help to fund solutions to these challenges. Any great partnership requires constant, open communication. Voices of dissent do not weaken healthy debate, they sharpen it. As Amazon embarks on their long-term journey with this community, I welcome their fulsome engagement to build the connections that will maximize the win-win potential of their new home. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Gutschall. Ms. Garvey?
Yeah, thank you. Thank you, Mr. Chair, and thank you for kind of so well covering everybody. And I just wanted to touch on a couple of different issues that kind of came up in several remarks. One was following the law. Someone came about FOIA and suggesting that maybe we aren't following the law, and I will simply agree with what Mr. Dorsey said. I've been here longer than anybody. I spent a lot of time going through my emails looking for searches. When we're told what we need to do, we absolutely do it. We follow the law. We take an oath to do that. Similarly, with the gentleman concerned about marijuana, that the resolution from the Civic Federation, I think that's great. We will, consider putting it in our legislative package. It makes a whole lot of sense. But I cannot have anybody complaining about our police chief and our Commonwealth's attorney saying they will follow the letter of the law. They also take oaths. That's what they're meant to do. So when you have trouble with the law, you need to change the law, and it's completely appropriate to come here and ask us to do a resolution and work to do that. But I will never ask anybody to not follow the law, because that's what we're meant to be doing. On the engagement, we have many, many different ways of engaging. And in fact, Ms. Spence, who came and spoke so eloquently about the need for more support in housing, thank you so much for coming. She mentioned the Tenant Landlord Commission, at which Matt DeFerranti was at. We all liaise to various commissions. Those commissions generally meet once a month. Often county board members are there to hear from commissions. On Amazon, we are working on a listening tour, if you will, and have reached out to every civic organization that we could think of in Arlington offering to come. And in fact, our staff is having a really hard time because, for example, on Monday night, I'm going to 2 different civic associations to talk to them. Many of us are doubling up, going 2 places at least in one night to talk to people. We are out there as much as we can. It's a big community. We are doing our very best. Open Door Monday is another thing that is available to anybody who wants to come, and anybody and everybody does come. I actually enjoy Open Door Mondays because you never know who's going to come, and you never know what you're going to hear about, but it's always instructive, and it is welcoming and open to anyone who wants to come. We do meet individually with people. Someone mentioned that. I generally tell my aide I'll meet with anybody. Within reason, we all talk to anybody. It doesn't have to be a special relationship at all. Many, many people have come in to have individual conversations with us, and including folks like Ms. Fisher, who was here earlier. I began meeting with her individually probably about when I got on the board about 8 years ago. So we all are continually working on issues, and we are doing our best, and we are as available as we possibly can be for 5 people in a community of 200 and how many? 30,000 people. We're trying, and I actually need to add up the number of civic associations and groups. We try to actually and liaise with each one of them as well. And then there is online. There's lots of online information for people to look. It is all out there. We are open and transparent, and again, doing the very best we can. 5 people and 430,000 people that we need to communicate with, and we do our very best and try hard. We're always working to get better. And thank you, everybody, for coming.
Thank you, Ms. Garvey. Mr. DeFerranti?
Just very briefly, I want to thank everyone who came for civility in your comments. I do also want to credit the chair with handling all of the questions with civility. And then I also want to echo the theme that has been so important to me, which is equity. It's many of us have mentioned it, but the implications, of course, on the housing grants program that you mentioned coming out of landlord-tenant. I'm so glad that's in the manager's proposed budget. And then last, I just want to echo Ms. Garvey and Mr. Gutschall and all of us have really focused on. We're at about 18 or 20 events that we're going to be doing over the next month or so, often 2 events per night. And I encourage you to engage there, and in addition to the suggestions that the chair had with respect to specific proposals for public engagement. Thanks much.